Hey everybody, welcome to another review, and today I will be reviewing Hugo. Yes, Hugo. This came out in 2011, and it is directed by the one and only Martin Scorsese. Yeah, this movie is directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's really surprising that it is. However, this movie is probably one of his best, and I'll get to the reason why. But yeah, Martin Scorsese. Just in case you've been living under a rock, or you just don't not too familiar with directors, and you don't know who Martin Scorsese is. He's directed a bunch of good movies like Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street, The Departed, Casino. Bunch of great films, and kind of like Steven Spielberg, he's not one genre. He has, especially and this is big proof that he's not one genre, because a lot of those movies I just mentioned, Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street, especially, all those movies are not for kids, but this is the one kids movie in his filmography. So yeah. Anyways, yes, it's directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's based on a book, which is called "The Invention of Hugo Cabret." Cabret, I think is his name, which was written by Brian Selznick. I hope I said that name right. And also a little known fact here. This is produced by Johnny Depp. One of the producers of this film is Johnny Depp, and he has a cameo in this film too. I think he plays a guitar player. He doesn't say anything though. He's just there at like certain parties and stuff. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And this has a pretty good cast. Ben Kingsley, Chloe Grace Moretz, Asa Butterfield, I hope I said that name right. I don't know. He plays the main character, the kid, Hugo. Sacha Baron Cohen as well, and Jude Law, and Christopher Lee, and Richard Griffins, who played Vernon Dursley from the Harry Potter movies. Yeah. And some other actors I just not familiar with, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, okay, Hugo. This is a very interesting film. I'm not really sure exactly how to explain the plot, because it's kind of difficult to explain. But it's about this. I'll try my best. It's about this kid, this 12-year-old boy named Hugo, who is an orphan. His dad, I think his mom died, like whenever he was like a baby or something. And his dad died whenever, I don't know, whenever he was like around 10, 11 or something like that. And he died in a fire. And so, he had to, he started living with his uncle, but then his uncle disappears and he's just left alone. And he lives in this, he lives in this train station, I think. I think that's what it is. And which is where his uncle worked. He like worked the clocks at the train station, and he taught Hugo how to do it. And he did it after his uncle left. But anyways, he lives in this train station all by himself, and he has like this, I don't know, this robot looking thing. Not really a robot, kind of a robot in a way, but it's like this weird looking metal thing. It has a face. It's like a robot that his dad had, he got from a museum. And I don't really want to say what it does because it will probably spoil the movie, but I don't know. He makes friends with Chloe Grace Moretz and stuff like that. See, I'm trying to think of what to say without spoiling the movie, and But really, it's kind of like I said. This plot is a little bit difficult to say. I will say though, this movie is about movies, about the early days of film. In fact, Ben Kingsley plays. Well, this is a fictional story, but however, it does have George. Or sorry, Ben Kingsley's character is actually he plays a real this filmmaker way back in the day, in like the 1890s to 1900s. His name is George Melis or Melis or something. I forgot. I actually looked up how to pronounce that name, and now I kind of forgot. But Melis, I don't know. But he was a filmmaker. He done like a whole bunch of films, and some of the stuff in this story about that character, about George Melis or whatever his name is actually true. Like a lot of his films got lost, but then they got recovered, rediscovered or whatever. And this is kind of a fictionalized story of how his films got discovered and stuff. And by the way, he was also, I think his most famous film was it was called A Trip to the Moon. And it's that one. It's that really iconic picture with the moon with the face on it, and like there's like a rocket or something in its eye. And also, little known fact: the Smashing Pumpkins video of "Tonight Tonight" is actually based on that film. Little known fact there, but yeah, that was his most popular film, A Trip to the Moon. And anyways, so yeah, like I said, it's a fictional story, but it does have like, some elements to real stuff, that happened. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, I'll say it right off the bat. Well, I think I kind of said it earlier, but this is a very good film. And this is a kid's movie. Although this is the kind of movie, I mean, it's a kid's movie, but I don't know if kids would necessarily like this movie. Probably not many, because I mean, there is like a lot of stuff that they wouldn't understand. I mean, of course, kids like movies, sure, but they don't know anything about the history and stuff like that. I mean, maybe if a kid likes a movie so much, maybe this movie can teach that kid about the history, So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's a kid's movie, but it's a kid's movie for adults mostly, and it's really good. This is a really good film, and I believe this came out in 2011. And around that time, 3D movies were like huge. They're not. I don't know. Is 3D even a thing anymore? I mean, maybe, but I just don't see any 3D movies that much anymore. But back then, like pretty much every kids movie, especially like every animated film, was like in 3D, and like any like action movie and stuff like that. James Cameron's Avatar, was a 3D movie. So yeah, this is a 3D movie. Was a 3D movie. I watched this on Netflix, and it wasn't in 3D. But I kind of think this is a movie that, you can watch either way. I didn't watch it in 3D, but would be kind of interesting to watch in 3D. I don't know. I'm not a big 3D guy, to be honest. I don't know. I just don't see anything special about 3D, really. But yeah, this film has a lot of like cool like visual effects and stuff, a lot of CGI, and it works really well with the film actually. It's just a very good film, very well shot and stuff, and the visual effects look great. All the acting is really good. Everybody, even the kid who played Hugo, was really good, and Chloe Grace Moretz, who I don't know, was like maybe around 12 years old during the time, but she was very good. And Ben Kingsley, of course, great actor anyways, who was in Schindler's List. And he also played Gandhi in the Gandhi biopic. So, yeah. Although I haven't seen that movie, but yeah, but I hear he was really good in it. And Sacha Baron Cohen's even in this movie, and he's actually really good, and he's really funny too. Of course, you know, I mean, he plays funny characters. Borat is a really funny character, but this character is different from his other characters. Like, even Borat and like some of the other characters he plays are somewhat kind of the same, but this one's a little bit different. But he's like the funny, he's like the comic relief of this film. He plays the inspector of the train station, and he's like always trying to find Hugo because he knows Hugo is all alone and stuff. So yes, so you know, he tries, it's his job, of course, to track him down, find him, and put him in an orphanage. And of course, Hugo doesn't want that. But excuse me, but yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen was really good in this movie. He was really funny too. He had some funny moments. He was the funniest thing about the movie. Yeah, everybody was really great, really good in this film. Also, like, well, I said like I don't know. I'll probably end up repeating myself, but the cinematography was really good. I don't know if I said that. I said that it was well shot, so that's kind of the same. But cinematography was really good. Great tracking shots, as always, from Martin Scorsese films. I think I said it in my last video, which was my honest review for Boogie Nights. I said that I liked the tracking shots in that film, and I said that it reminded me of Martin Scorsese's tracking shots. And I said in that one that I think Martin Scorsese is probably the king of tracking shots. I mean, a lot of other great directors, they do it very well, like Wes Anderson, but he's probably the second best. But Spike Lee has some good tracking shots too sometimes. But Martin Scorsese to me is like the best. And yeah, the tracking shots for this film is really awesome. Really cool. So yeah. Also, as I mentioned Wes Anderson, I will say this movie doesn't really feel not a lot like a Scorsese film. Like I said, you know, it's a kid's movie, but even the way it's shot and stuff, it looks completely different from all of his other films. It kind of looks a little bit more like a Tim Burton film. Like, it kind of looks like a little bit like a Tim Burton film. I could see two directors might, instead of, like, if Martin Scorsese didn't direct this film, I could see two other directors that could direct it. One is Tim Burton, because of like the story and stuff, but also, like I said, you know, the shots, you know, in this movie kind of reminds me a little bit like, well, not just not the shots, but like the way this movie looks, it kind of reminds me of Tim Burton. So I can see Tim Burton pulling it off, although his version might be a little darker, but still, I can see him doing it. And I can also see, who I just mentioned earlier, Wes Anderson doing this film. Although if he directed this movie, then it would be completely different. I mean, probably the same story, but it would look completely different. But I can still see Wes Anderson doing a film based on this story. I can see that. And I would think it maybe not better, but at least as good as this film is, you know? But I love Wes Anderson, by the way. I've only seen 4 of his movies so far, but I like them all, and I really dig his style. So I'm kind of curious to see what Wes Anderson, if he directed this film, of what it would look like, you know? I'm really interested in that. But you know, Martin Scorsese did a great job, and it's kind of weird that he did this movie because this movie is in between 2 films in his filmography that are not for kids at all. Because this was the follow-up to Shutter Island, which is another movie that is like different from Scorsese's filmography. A lot of people say that it's more like a Christopher Nolan film, and it kind of is. I've seen it once. I didn't like it. Then again, I'm not a Christopher Nolan fan. Yes, I said it. I'm not a Christopher Nolan fan, but I'll mention that for another video someday, maybe. But I just want to say that. But yeah, this was in between Shutter Island. You know, it was the follow-up to Shutter Island, and the follow-up to this film was The Wolf of Wall Street. And I think the reason why The Wolf of Wall Street has so much, so much profanity, so much language, and a lot of nudity and all that stuff, vulgarity, why it has all that stuff is because, this is the film to follow this film, Hugo. And he was probably saying, to his fans, Hugo is the only kids movie I'm going to do. So my next film is going to be not for kids at all, and it's going to be has so much language, so much profanity and vulgarity in it. So that's why I think that movie has so much of that stuff in it. It's because it was the follow up to Hugo, a kids movie. That's what I think. I don't know. I honestly don't see that being wrong, because it really feels like that was the reason why. But yeah, it's kind of funny that it goes Shutter Island, Hugo, then The Wolf of Wall Street. It's kind of weird, kind of funny to me. But I don't know. I don't know if I like this better than Wolf of Wall Street. Maybe. I do like it better than Shutter Island, that's for sure. I did not like Shutter Island at all. I will give it another watch someday, but I didn't like that movie. But I thought that movie was really boring, to be honest. Yeah. But this movie wasn't boring. It was really entertaining and a little slow, but not boring. It was really good, really entertaining. Although I did have to watch this again because I didn't really understand the story completely. In fact, I'm still kind of lost on certain parts. Like, for example, about Hugo's uncle. Like, where did he go? What happened to his uncle? I don't know. I don't know. I think I might know, but I don't want to spoil. But I'm still not really sure if that's true. Like, I think... Because, okay, after I saw this movie twice, and after the second time, I was still kind of lost, especially about Hugo's uncle. So I had to read on Wikipedia the plot, and I won't say what happens, but it says something about his uncle, what happened to him. But I'm not sure if that's actually true, because it doesn't really. They didn't say it, I don't think, or at least I didn't hear it. I don't know. Maybe they did. I just didn't hear what happened about Hugo's uncle in the film, but yeah, so I don't understand everything about the story, but for the most part, I really dig this story, and like I said, it's about the early days of film. I'm a film lover, so if you're a film lover, you should definitely check this film out. Whether you like kids movies or not, you should definitely see this movie anyways, because like I said, this is a kids movie for adults. So, I don't think everybody likes this movie, but I still think you should at least check it out. It's on Netflix, so yeah. So anyways, I guess I said all I guess I said all I'll say. I said everything I was going to say. There we go. God, I can't fucking talk. I'm sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and give it its grade. I really enjoyed this film, and I'm going to give Hugo a B+. Almost an A, but B+. Maybe the more I watch it, it might become one of my favorite movies, because I really liked it. But I think maybe because I don't understand everything about the story, that might be why it's dragging it down a little bit for me. But for the most part, I think this is a great film, and I give it a B+. So Hugo, B+. Really good film. All right, well, there we go. There's my my review for Hugo. So in the comments, tell me, have you seen Hugo? Have you not? Also, what's your favorite Martin Scorsese film? Mine is Taxi Driver, which is in my top 3 favorite films of all time. I love that movie so much. Yeah. Anyways, please like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you some other time. All right. Peace.